Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Damra Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let us proceed to the next shloka. Aho ubhayataha praptam.
Aho bhayata praptam.
Asya vyasanam mahat.
Lokasya vyasanam mahat.
Daruni ubhayato deepte.
Daruni ubhayato deepte.
Vataskara palayoho.
Vivataskara palayoho.
Ubhayataha praptam.
Aho bhayata praptam.
Lokasya vyasanam mahat.
Lokasya vyasanam mahat.
Daruni ubhayato deepte.
Daruni ubhayato deepte.
Vataskara palayoho.
Vivataskara palayoho.
Aho ubhyata praptam. Aho ubhyata praptam. Lokasya vyasanam mahat. Lokasya vyasanam mahat. Darunya ubhyato dipte. Darunya ubhyato dipte. Ahataskara palayoho.
Aho ubhayataha praptam. Lokasya vyasanam mahat. Daruni ubhayato deepte. Vivataskara palayoho. Aho, alas, ubhayataha, from both directions, praptam, received, lokasya, of the people in general, vyasanam, danger, mahat, great, daruni, a lot, ubhayataha, from both sides, deepte, burning, Iva, like, Taskara, from thieves and rogues, Palayoho, and from the king. When the great sages consulted one another, they saw the people are in dangerous position from both directions. When a fire blazes on ends of a log, the ants in the middle are in a very dangerous situation. Similarly, at that time, the people in general were in a dangerous position due to irresponsible king on the side and the thieves and rogues on the other. When the great sages consulted one another, they saw that the people were in a dangerous position from both directions. When a fire blazes on both ends of a log, the ants in the middle are in a very similarly,
Are in a very dangerous
at that time, the people in
general were in a dangerous position.
So, and the people in general were in a dangerous position due to an irresponsible king on one side and thieves and rogues another. Thinking to save the state from irregularity, the sages began to consider that it was due to the political crisis that made Vena king, although he was not qualified. But alas, now the people were being disturbed by the king himself. Under these such circumstances, how could the people be happy? Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. In Bhagavad Gita 18.5, it is stated that even in the renounced order, one should not give up sacrifice, charity and penance. The brahmacharis must perform sacrifices, the grihasthas must give in charity, and those in the renounced order of life, the vanaprasthas and sannyasis, must practice penance and austerities. These are the procedures by which everyone can be elevated to the spiritual platform. When the sages and saintly persons saw that King Vena had stopped all these functions, they became concerned about the people's progress. Saintly people preach God consciousness or Krishna consciousness because they are anxious to save the general populace from the dangers of animalistic life. There must be a good government to see that the citizens are actually executing their religious rituals, and thieves and rogues must be curbed. When this is done, the people can advance peacefully in spiritual consciousness and make their lives successful. Hare Krishna.
The sages began to think within themselves, because he was born from the womb of Sunita, King Vena is by nature very mischievous. Supporting this mischievous king is exactly like maintaining a snake with the milk. Now he has become a source of all difficulties.
Purport. Saintly persons are generally aloof from social activities and the materialistic way of life. King Vena was supported by the saintly persons just to protect the citizens from the hands of rogues and thieves, but after his ascendance to the throne, he became a source of trouble to the sages. Saintly people are especially interested in performing sacrifices and austerities for the advancement of spiritual life. But Vena, instead of being obliged because of the saint's mercy, turned out to be their enemy because he prohibited them from executing their ordinary duties. A serpent who is maintained with milk and bananas simply stores poison in his teeth and awaits the day to bite his master.
We appointed King Vena of the state in order to give protection to the citizens, but now he has become enemy of the citizens. Despite all the discrepancies, we should at once try to pacify him. By doing so, we may not be touched by the sinful results caused by him.
The saintly sages elected King Vena to become king, but he proved to be mischievous. Therefore, the sages were very much afraid of incurring sinful reaction. The law of karma prohibits a person even to associate with a mischievous individual. By electing Vena to the throne, the saintly sages certainly associated with him. Ultimately, King Vena became so mischievous that the saintly sages actually became afraid of becoming contaminated by his activities. Thus, before taking any action against him, the sages tried to pacify and correct him so that he might turn from his mischief.
The saintly sages continued thinking, of course, we are completely aware of his mischievous nature, yet we nevertheless enthrone Vena. If we cannot persuade King Vena to accept our advice, he will be condemned by the public, and we will join them. Thus, by our prowess, we shall burn him to ashes.
Purport. Saintly persons are not interested in political matters, yet they always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. Consequently, they sometimes have to come down to the political field and take steps to correct the misguided government or royalty. However, in Kali Yuga, saintly persons are not as powerful as they were previously. They used to be able to burn any sinful man to ashes by virtue of their spiritual prowess. Now, saintly persons have no such power due to the influence of the age of Kali. Indeed, the Brahmanas do not even have the power to perform sacrifices in which animals are put into fire to attain a new life. Under these circumstances, instead of actively taking part in politics, saintly persons should engage in chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna. By the grace of Lord Chaitanya, by simply chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the general populace can derive all benefits without political implications. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam yena tasmai shingurave namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshai Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Tat Vidvadbhir Asad Pritto Veno Asma Vikrito Nipaha Shantvito Yadino Vacham Na Grihishyati Adharmakrit Loka Dikkara Sandagdham Dahishyamaha Swatejasa. The saintly sages continued thinking, of course, we were completely aware of his mischievous nature, yet we nevertheless enthroned Vena. If he cannot persuade King Vena to accept our advice, he will be condemned by the public, and we will join him. Thus, by our prowess, we shall burn him to ashes. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. So actually my desire is class to start at 8:30. So if you are late, I am not giving chanting chance to the online people because time is less. Already we are 8:38. So other things I just skipped because we have already repeated. We have been discussing this point. But very interesting point comes now. What should be done today? As far as the time of the Vena, the sages were powerful enough to curse him. And they could take an action like that. But presently that is not possible. Right? So Prabhupada is saying sometimes the sages also come down. So that means sages are not on a dvanda. We should avoid getting into the te dvanda moha nirmuktam. Prabhupada says why we should say one set of rascals is better than other set of rascals. We should avoid. Therefore, we do not align, we do not favor any political party to another. We keep ourselves away. Because the work is spiritual and these people are, to a large extent, all are compromised. So therefore, Prabhupada is not giving us direction how to this movement should lead. So he, in this way, that he is not giving us a direction to enter politics. He is keeping it away. But at the same time, we see something interesting. Srila Prabhupada says, what can be done today? What situation the sages saw with Vena and the followers. Hare Krishna, darshan thoda der mein khulega abhi. Abhi Bhagwan ko bhog lagna hai. So what situation we saw Vena and rule, a similar situation exists today. Almost similar situation exists today. The governments are not having any idea how people should practice spiritual life. Neither by their own example or instruction they are able to do any spiritual good to the society. We have an example of Rishabhadeva as a Raja Rishi. And Rishabhadeva, when he was before his departing, is addressing all this, his children's, headed 100 children, headed by Bharat Maharaj, and so nice instructions are there. Generally, the Kshatriyas don't preach. That is left to the Brahmanas. So in Rajoguna, Tamoguna, they should preaching. Sit down silently. Preaching is in Sattva-guna. Therefore, we should come to Sattva-guna because there is a preaching movement. Therefore, our instructions that we have, Srila Prabhupada's instruction, all the books are for leading a sattvic life. Prabhupada is promoting in his books and by his instructions, by the rules and regulations, Brahminical culture. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi. All the time we are cultivating development of spiritual knowledge. So this is the movement meant for. Otherwise, how do you do preaching? If you are not cultivating spiritual knowledge, what do you preach? So, therefore, generally the Kshatriyas we do not see, they don't lecture in the public, they don't give spiritual lectures. That is given privilege to the Brahmanas. But Shivadeva here instructs his children, that is fine, father can instruct the children. And he gives beautiful instructions which are recorded in the Shastra. 5th canto, 5th chapter, beautiful instructions of Shivadeva are recorded. So this was the culture, Now here are the sages, they are highly qualified. The kings also used to be highly qualified. They used to be called Raja Rishis, like an example of Vishwadeva. But what do we do today? We do not have saintly kings. Just like we had Srila Prabhupada, very illuminating instruction to Nehru, we read that. Prabhupada explaining that actually the real success is not in so-called amenities of life which we are focusing on. Real success is in spiritual development. And a person can just, if he has sufficient food to eat, some place to take rest, that's it. Simple living. Now, the whole focus can be on high thinking, spiritual development. So nice, some of you read the letter, read it again. So nice it is. Now, we have almost the same kind of government even today. They do not have a picture what is real development. Now, if you want to take an instruction like a step like the sages, you go to them, say, please stop all this kind of activities. The government keeps saying we want technology, we want science, totally blind to the idea. As Prabhupada says in that letter, the spiritual knowledge is advanced science. It's not that it's not science, it's logical, it is reasonable. But people are not exposed to that. There's no idea. What does people think today? They think the spiritual knowledge is some kind of a faith. Some people believe and don't touch their beliefs. So there is no discussion of spiritual knowledge today because you may hurt somebody's, sentiments. You can't even preach. Previously, when Acharya, Madhvacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were traveling and preaching, was it said they are hurting sentiments of anybody? No. The wrong is wrong, isn't it? Buddha went all around India preaching. Madhvacharya went around India preaching. Shankaracharya went around India preaching. You can talk publicly. It's not that you are hurting somebody's symptoms. Wrong is wrong. They said, no, we should not do that. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached to Keshav Kashmiri. True, it was spoken with respect and affection, that's true. But you could preach. Today the rules, laws, the atmosphere is such you can't even preach publicly. Oh, you have heard the sentiment of this person, you have heard the sentiment of this person. Can't even preach in this atmosphere. Spiritualism is nothing but more sentiments. Now in science today, don't you have that privilege? If a teacher is teaching F equal to 3ma, you can go and tell him in public, this is wrong. Why you are teaching that? Where is there the evidence in the books? Where is an experiment to prove what you are telling? You can speak strongly. But in spiritualism, you cannot do that. There was recently one Shankaracharya, I give that example, he said that one Baba is being worshipped like God. In fact, you find it everywhere. Even I went to Makrana, I was seeing in the, they may, that Baba's statue is being made. As much Krishna, that much Baba's statue. I was really funny it is. So he said that nowhere in the Shastra, nowhere in the, any Acharyas, this Baba is accepted as God. What are you doing? He just made this sentiment. Supreme Court made a ruling, this is wrong. He should not have spoken like that. And if you want, you can persecute him. There was protest on the streets. People are jumping and dancing. You can't even speak. You can't even discuss spiritualism in this nonsense atmosphere. And the Supreme Court says, no, this is wrong. He should not have spoken like this. He has heard the sentiments of public. Oh my God. So you can't even preach in this atmosphere. So what do? You can go, the courts will not help you. Governments, they cannot do anything. Now in science, suppose you present a paper, it has to be peer reviewed. It can be checked. It can be counter-checked. Somebody can put an objection, correct? And then it is proceeds. At least they have some systems. You go to any hospital, there are so many systems. True, we may say we don't find allopathy the best system of medicine, but you can appreciate the systems. For education in that, elaborate systems of MBBS, MD, DM, elaborate systems of training. True? But here it is spiritualism, no courses, no examinations, no systems for ourselves to certify somebody as understood. So by Krishna's grace, now one extent, we achieve one milestone which was almost impossible. In January, when we thought about, Guru Maharaj gave us instruction, we finished by Balram Jayanti, it was almost impossible by the various factors. But okay, by Krishna's grace, one step is done. But what we do need in society, certified courses in the Shastra. So people appreciate, And today, tomorrow, if the certification is good, training is good, then you see that more and more these people will be accepted in the society. Oh, it will become a system. Correct? We need systems. We cannot expect government to make systems, but at least we should make systems. Government is secular. They will not get into this. But we have to proceed. And as much as possible, we work with the government, but we have to make systems. So in this way, we keep spreading Krishna consciousness, we keep training people in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada says, most important, chant Hare Krishna. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. Very, very interesting. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, at that time, the Muslims have particularly taken over the country, 500 years ago. Even Nawab Hussain Shah, we can hear all those kings were all Muslims. Pratap Rudra was Hindu at Odisha, but generally it was like that. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that situation. True? Temples were being broken, so many things were happening. So the question obviously comes, if he is same as Narasimha Deva, why he did not take any action? Correct? Question will come to any reasonable person. And it's not that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not have a following. He had a following. When he was in Navadvip, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once asked for civil disobedience. The Qazi made an order. But who asked him to make that order? So-called birth Brahmanas. Because they lost all business. Now people come to us, we don't encourage them to waste time with the Jyotishis, Karmakandi Brahmanas. We don't encourage them. Don't waste your time. You chant Hare Krishna. So they went out of business. What are the most of the Brahmanas who practice Brahminical? What do they do actually? Mostly they are on the Karmakandi Brahmana level and they do Jyotisha, correct? If you want to make a living out of Brahminical life, what you will do? Either you will become Jyotisha or you will become Bhatru. You will do Karmakanda activities at their home, this puja, that puja. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Navadip, what happened? That people are totally happy and satisfied, chanting and dancing. So they lost their business. And they were not so spiritually advanced brahmanas or spiritually inclined, just a level of karma kanda. They became very upset. And when he hits somebody's belly, he will become wild. And they went all the way to Kazi to stop Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from spreading Sankirtana movement. Just look at the joke. This was Muslim rule. The Hindus were practically scared also to chant Hare Krishna. Total, just like the condition in Bangladesh or Pakistan of Hindus today. That was the condition. Total oppression. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came, they became shocked actually. Who is giving them this kind of confidence? They were chanting, dancing and enjoying. Lakhs of people in the streets having Nama Sankirtana. They should be happy. But these people, instead of becoming happy, they're thinking of their belly. Now we lost our livelihood. And they became so envious. Can you just imagine that they went to the Kazi and they told, stop this Sankirtana movement. Look at the accusation. They say that great calamity will going to come because he's making a lot of mistakes. There are brahmanas like this. They don't appreciate ISKCON movement. Actually, any saintly person should be able to appreciate Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada went to Tirupati, the Shri Vaishnavas gave him an honor which they give in their sampradaya to an Acharya. They closed the temple. Only he had the darshan with the sannyasis. They don't do that for anybody. And they offered him all the worship that is given to a great saint. Anybody with the open eyes, if he is a saint, should be able to appreciate Srila Prabhupada and his movement. But still now we have the so-called brahmanas who are not able to appreciate Prabhupada. They say even today he has destroyed the dharma because he gave Brahmin Diksha and Sannyasa to the Westerners. They say that. So similarly, just imagine what a condition and what Prabhupada has done. Anybody should be able to appreciate. Anyway, so very funny. So the Chant Kazi called for, banning the total order he gave, no more Sankirtana, and he broke some Mridangas. If anybody does Sankirtana Yagna, I will forcibly convert him. Like that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard that. He said civil disobedience. Within a few days in Mayapur, there was Nama Sankirtana ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We should not do, we will not follow this order. All of us will do. And how many people came? Lakhs. The whole town came practically. And Chant Kazi panicked when the whole subjects came together to the house of Chant Kazi. So civil disobedience movement was not started by Gandhi, was started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years before. And people are chanting and dancing. And next what happened? Chant Kazi got panicked, he thought they will kill him. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not have any intention like that. Actually, people were extremely angry. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to talk to Chant Kazi. What is the issue? And Chant Kazi, finally, by instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, became a Vaishnava. And he started chanting and dancing in Nam Sankirtana. This is unimaginable what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could do. You see what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. In fact, the devotees were so angry, they were saying, kill him! Kill him! They were so angry. They had torches in their hand, they were to burn him. That was Chant Kazi was scared, and his few soldiers what he had, they ran away. He could have killed him. He could have burnt him. He did not do anything of that. He rather talked to him, very affectionately talked to him. He says, Chant Kazi says, you say, you are like my nephew, please don't be so angry at me. He said, my dear uncle, why you are so scared of me? Nephew has come, why you are hiding? Why you are hiding? Then words. Then if you say, your uncle, I've just come to ask you some question. Then he asked him very terse, strong question. What kind of religion you are following? You are eating your father and mother. He didn't say, you hurt my religious sentiments. No, he was a scholar. He started quoting even from Vedas, he started quoting that you allow, in the Vedas, you allow Ashwamedham and Gavalambam. Then Chaitanya Prabhu explained, no, it's not so. Ashwamedham Gavalambam doesn't mean we give a bali and we eat. No, they give a new life to that animal. He appreciated, he understood, he appreciated. He was not with any negative feeling. So conversation can only occur when there is a positive appreciation. And then after that, he said, he showed in his chest the marks of Narasimhadeva. He said in the dream, Narasimhadeva came and he said, today you broke Pradangas, if you do this again, I will tear your chest to pieces. And he opened his shirt and saw the marks. Everybody was shocked. And then he said that my people go, when you people are chanting the name of Hari, the name of all this, then my people go. At that time, their beards get burned. And they come back chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I tell them, that's not your religion, why you're chanting? No, that Nama has stuck in our mouth. So what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's approach was? Simple to do Nama Sankirtana. And then after that he continued Nama Sankirtana. So similarly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in various situations did not lift weapons, he actually propagated Nama Sankirtana. So we are also bound by that. We cannot take another step. We are also bound. We are the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are the movement of Srila Prabhupada. So we should know what work Srila Prabhupada has given us and how we have to do it. If as far as ISKCON is concerned, we cannot take a step outside of that. And what is the step Srila Prabhupada has given us? Make people chant Hare Krishna. In fact, we were thinking how we can make people chant before they enter. We are thinking of a way of the temple if they enter. Some temples have that privilege. But at least as people come, they chant Hare Krishna, gradually we can see the whole vitiated atmosphere. Srisriradha Govinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, of Kali Yuga will change. Because we cannot, previously like Ashoka was the king and he was met by the followers of Buddha. And Ashoka became a Buddhist. And then under his patronage, whole India took the Buddhist culture. But that step cannot be done today. It cannot be done. We cannot do that today. It is not possible. There is no king like that. The government wants to take an action. It cannot take. The courts will not allow. Suppose government says everybody should chant. They asked Srila Prabhupada once, suppose you get power in the world, what we should do? Prabhupada said, if anybody is not chanting 16 rounds, hang him. And Prabhupada was laughing. So we cannot take steps like that because there is no king. If he wants to, suppose the Prime Minister makes a decision like that tomorrow, courts will stop it. He cannot do. Situation is very complicated. Even he is not free as a king. Previously, king is the court, king is the judge, king is everything. He is the constitution also. He is the press also. Now that the pillars of democracy, they have so many pillars of democracy. We have the press, we have the court, we have the ministers, we have the bureaucracy. There are different pillars, they say. Each has to, but king was everything at one time. Okay. So he cannot act. So what we can do at this time, Srila Prabhupada said very simply, we should make everybody chant Hare Krishna. Then what will happen? The whole atmosphere will vitiate. Vitiate atmosphere will be calm. Very simple step Srila Prabhupada has given. He said, let everybody become a devotee. And then, because you cannot change the system, then the democracy, people will elect. If everybody becomes, Prabhupada says, Bhagavatas, they will elect a Mahabhagavata to be the ruler. This is the only approach. So distribute Prabhupada books as much as possible and make everybody chant Hare Krishna. That approach we should have to every visitor who comes to the temple. Make him chant Hare Krishna. See that he has some Prabhupada book with him. When he goes, have some prasadam. And gradually, as we are able to attract people by these facilities, gradually atmosphere will be calm and then we can think something can happen. So our goal is only simply make people chant Hare Krishna and wait for the mantra to act. Hare Krishna everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
So we think is the best.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Make
Hare
as many
Rama,
people as possible.
Rama
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Make as many people as possible chant Hare Krishna. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
See, already it is predicted, Prithicha Yatoacha Nagaradi Gram, Sarata Prachara Vimoranam, Bachatra Mahaprabhu. So become an instrument in that. And as the whole world starts chanting and dancing, you will see very soon that it will become a golden age in Kali Yuga will appear. It is predicted in Bhavishya Purana, in Kali Yuga golden age will appear. So that will appear if you make everybody chant Hare Krishna. Okay, we can see Hare Krishna mantra acted on me, so why not act on another person? Okay. Logical or not? Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji, thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
कृष्ण के नाम पे
Hare
प्रभु जी
Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Thank
Prabhuji.
you.
Pranam Prabhuji.
प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Now
Hare
you.
Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad Prabhuji.
Darshan. Darshan.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanyavad, Pranam.
Chanapapu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
नहीं, उनको दर्शन दिला दो कैमरा
Yes.
नहीं आपको दर्शन दिला दे
Radha
आओ,
Govinda.
ठीक है ना? खाली
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes,
Pranam
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
ओ हाँ
Hare
ये
Krishna
ऊपर
Prabhuji.
ऊपर हाँ ऊपर ऊपर हाँ अंदर जाइए हाँ हाँ ऊपर ऊपर
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks a lot.
या खोल दे
Listen up.
हाँ
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
अंदर अंदर
Hare
Shri
Bol.
Radha Govinda
Radha
ki
Govinda.
jai.
Hare Bol.
हरे
Thank you.
For the
Hare
wonderful darshan,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Shringar is beautiful. Raja Shringar, बहुत सुंदर है.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna
चलो
Hare Krishna,
so now
Krishna
chance
Krishna,
is there
Hare Hare, Hare Ram.
Radha and Govinda are cutely dressed. So cute.
श्री श्री राधा
Radha Shringar.
की जय श्री
Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
बहुत सुंदर ड्रेस है आज.
बहुत सुंदर है.
हाँ.
दत्तू प्रभु जी ने अच्छा सजाया है.
Very beautiful.
श्रृंगार nicely. हाँ, श्रृंगार is
Nice.
fine श्रृंगार. Hare Krishna. Very. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Very nice.